Next thing right below that is something I was wanting to kind of talk about for a minute.
They just came out today.
The Xbox. What did you say, the 7th? My dates are all mixed up. Xbox One S, all digital edition console. What's going on? Back again. Wednesday video today.
Okay, so we had
a long video yesterday. We went into a lot of stuff in depth in terms of
kind of sad.
sad stuff. It really was. It's stuff that you don't really want to think about, but it's stuff that needs to be talked about. So today we have a couple things.
Now, James, we're getting these. We're switching off and on.
Yeah, off and on every day. So this is some stuff I found. Yeah. So I tried to. I mean, I didn't know what Cody was going to get, but I tried to. I don't know. I just tried to find some random stuff, I guess. He's a little more structured when he finds stuff. I'm more all over the place. I kind of just went off what I found, and what I found interesting, I guess. And the first thing we're going to get into is this article by Forbes about Activision Blizzard. You know, Blizzard's like they work together on things.
You're going to have to tell me where you're at, too, in the article, so I can...
I'm at the top. So, they had their quarterly earnings call yesterday. And they announced that they had beaten expectations, but their stock fell 4 to 5%. And that's been a trend for them. That's just been going down and going down and going down. So basically, the thing that made them beat expectations was that they were selling Call of Duty League spots. And that's it. Yeah, spots on like professional Call of Duty leagues and things like that. So basically, it's not in terms of video game income.
So basically, Dr. Disrespect wasn't blowing smoke up people's behinds when he said your game is dying. You have to do something.
So, as part of its presentation, Activision laid out one of its goals going forward. We are focused on delivering a strong cadence of major content releases where we meet the growing demand of the industry's gaming communities and release our high-quality content more frequently. So, I mean, if you think about them saying that, why should that even be a focus? That should be what you're doing anyway. You're a video game company. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But, so Call of Duty is the one annual release that Activision always releases.
What else do they make?
Well, it kind of gets into that. And of course, people just keep buying it. They just keep buying it, the new ones, every time and every time, every time.
Activision lost its deal with Bungie.
Yeah, they lost its deal with Bungie. They still lost Destiny after ending its publishing deal. So they lost that. So, and Destiny 2 has been really popular. Division 2's, kind of popular. Borderlands 3's coming out soon. So they lost their one loot-based shooter that they had. What else? Oh, and they're the ones that released the Skylanders games, you've heard of Skylanders, yes. I know you have. It's the 11th highest selling game franchise in history, which surprises me.
Well, it's also because they got the little amiibos.
The figures that you have to buy with it. Which, I mean, if you think about it, is a good business practice.
That's an unbelievable idea.
There hasn't been a Skylanders game since 2016.
What?
Yeah, from them. There hasn't been a new game released.
It was one of the highest selling, but they won't do it anymore?
King, I guess, is one of their video game, kind of branch-offs. It's like its own studio. It makes up the bulk of their 300+ million active users. Oh, okay, that's their mobile game branch. They release 2 games a year. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not good. Blizzard has not released a new game since Overwatch in 2016. So 3 years ago, it's the longest Blizzard has gone without a major release since the 6-year gap between World of Warcraft and StarCraft 2. Now, but if you think about those 2 games, those are MMOs. So you could take that span of time to make those and in between stuff.
And those will always bring in you.
Yeah, those will always bring revenue.
Because they're continuous.
Yes.
But I was reading this a little bit.
Yeah.
On. It's not to say they don't make money. They do from these existing games. Their limited releases are frequently from selling, but they make their money from esports league spots for huge price tags.
Yeah.
So basically, nobody's buying their video game content anymore.
No.
I mean, they are, but I mean, it's not like... They just... Again, that goes back to the game industry suffering.
Blizzard generally releases a new game every 1 to 2 years.
What are we doing, man?
It makes no sense.
What are we doing?
I know. Okay, the only thing they published in 2018 was Call of Duty Black Ops 4 and Spyro Reignited Trilogy. Now, Spyro's a popular game, but it's not something that's just going to just rake in cash. It's not something that's going to rake money in. And we've talked about their Call of Duty stuff. And then King, their mobile game company, released Legend of Soul Guard and Candy Crush. Now, the one thing I will say is, the fact that they own Candy Crush is probably keeping them afloat because people spend so much money on that game.
Especially in mobile games. People always spend money on mobile games.
Blizzard released nothing but expansions and events for existing titles. So going back to them just trying to make money off the same stuff. 2019 is going to bring Modern Warfare 4 and a publishing credit. Just a publishing credit on Sekiro. Blizzard again, probably not going to release anything. They seem poised to release nothing. And they're still a year or two away from releasing anything at all. And it says here, if we're lucky, we'll get Diablo Immortals on mobile, but I guess fans are really happy about that. So, I guess they said fans have shown what they feel about that. Let's see. And they go on to talk about in the article, they're surprised that Activision let Bungie out of their contract. Why? Why would you? That's another MMO style game. That's just continuous updates and going to bring in some form of income, some form of currency. And people are loving Destiny 2. It's one of the more popular games of that style right now.
I know when Destiny 2 first came out, people hated the story. But I did hear that they fixed a lot of the problems that were in Destiny 1. Some of the tedious grinds and how some of the raids didn't give out good rewards and things like that.
Yeah.
If people, look, you know how you make a good game? You develop an identity for the game.
Yep.
What's a good core idea for the game?
You can always go back and fix the game.
Well, here. So Destiny, what's Destiny's identity? Loot. It's a loot shooter.
It's a loot-based shooter. Yeah.
It's a loot shooter. So what do you do to create fans being happy? You make the loot good. You make the loot shooter fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have other little details and core aspects like multiplayer, working together, strikes, stuff like that. Yeah, that's fun. You want to work together to get loot.
Yeah.
Yes. Cool. Story mode. Cool. But make the loot good. Make it a large variety. So content.
Yes.
That's your content.
You have to have a large variety.
It's easy to vary multiple guns.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say that because I don't develop the guns. I don't know how. But yeah, I would say it's easier than creating a whole new story.
Yes. Yes.
And
you know, I even heard. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
And while they create the guns, they can also start working little by little on DLC story modes.
You just need to be organized on things.
So just organize, stick to your identity, and make that identity good.
Yeah.
Don't do what Mortal Kombat did. Stick to your identity, and then all of a sudden just kill it. In this title, politics, skins suck. Like, what do you make?
You know, Overwatch. Overwatch is another one of the games, but I haven't heard anything about Overwatch since it came out. It won Game of the Year that year, and then ever since then.
Here's what people say. Well, what about originality? You talk about originality all the time. It's okay to do like a remix strategy,
especially depending on the type of game you're playing.
Well, with like Call of Duty, do people like the Battle Royale mode? Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't deviate from that. Just make more maps.
Yep.
Make more guns. Create characters that people can unlock through battle passes and not through doing giant microtransactions that people have to pay for to get these new skins.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. $10 for a battle pass. Or if you want to charge $20 for a battle pass where they could get tons of items.
Yeah.
Tons of stuff. And new maps. New skins. New modes.
People will spend the money on stuff if you put the effort into it.
You don't have to deviate from your format. Okay, so you want to try something new. Fine. But don't get away from the core identity of Call of Duty, that is run and gun, shoot fast, kill streaks, stuff like that, and just remove the identity from it.
Can you imagine? Okay, that would be like, imagine Fortnite taking building out. It would make no sense. People would be like, what? Why? That's the main aspect of the game. That's what separates it from all the other Battle Royale games. As much as I might hate it.
And again, Dr. Disrespect talked about it. I watch him a lot because he's fun and entertaining.
Yeah.
He's funny. He's great. Good gaming stuff.
Yeah.
Personality's fun. And he talked about these games, these Battle Royale games, fine. They're building off the Battle Royale success.
Yeah.
Everybody loves it. It's a craze right now. People will get into it.
Yep.
But what is your separating identity
From everything, from the other
from
ones.
everybody else?
Yeah.
You know, he started Twitch. You know why he's so successful? He did Twitch, but what did he do? He created a whole new thing.
Character.
He created something new while building on the success of something old.
Yeah.
So what do these companies need to do? They need to create something, yes, new, while building upon their own identity and success that they already have.
Yep.
Don't kill off what your success already is.
Yep. I agree.
God of War 4, what did they do? They got rid of hack and slash, right? Not just hack and slash, but what did people love about God of War? The environment, the lore.
Yeah.
So
The gods that you meet. things
yes.
Like that.
So they did a third-person back overdrop view. Okay, so that was a little new, wasn't it? New graphics. Graphics were better. Of course, that just comes with the new technology and stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
The fighting was a little new. People already liked the fighting. They didn't change the fighting. Well, they changed the fighting. They didn't kill it.
They changed the weapon.
They revamped it.
Yeah.
So they revamped. They took what was old, that people liked, and they built upon it. They didn't kill it.
Yeah.
They built upon it.
Yeah.
They built upon the story. So was it new? Yes, but it was still building upon their own success.
And then what's the deal with Blizzard? They're not even making anything. Why are they even around?
Wow, that's why. It's made so much money.
I mean, I remember when they were one of the top companies every year for the stuff they were putting out.
You want to get into this is a short little article. We talked about it yesterday.
Yeah.
Jobs for video game developers dropped by 65% since 2014.
Yeah.
And all I wanted to mention in this article, Blizzard is 2, Activision is 3, EA is 1,
Yep. That's it. And those were the three of the
Epic is 4.
Epic and
With
EA.
Fortnite.
Epic and EA were the two that you talked about yesterday, and Blizzard and Activision were the two I talked about today. So that's telling you people don't want to work there. Is basically what this stat is telling you. And Bungie's on there
Bungie
at
is
7.
7.
Yeah. Yeah. Nintendo, which actually surprises me that it's on there, is 10. But I mean, I don't know. These companies are just like, it's almost like they're going off the deep end.
Nintendo, to explain that, Nintendo has also increased, they got the Switch,
True.
their company
true.
is growing.
They're basically the only handheld system based.
I would say look out, I know this is going to sound silly to some people, but if Nintendo keeps increasing their technology like they are with the Switch, and allowing more violent video games in their genre
Yeah.
to allow a larger player base,
Yeah.
and allowing people to stream their content, and
Definitely.
allowing people to show videos,
When they
watch out for Nintendo.
When they finally started allowing people to stream, that helped them a lot.
I'm
So it
telling you,
gets
watch
the name
out. Watch out for Nintendo. If they keep doing this,
Yes, yeah, if they keep going along the same path.
that may be why they're on there.
Yep. True, true. Plus, it's Nintendo of America, so it's just the America based.
Yeah. Now, do we want to get? Oh, true. That is a good point. Do you want to get on to? We don't want to talk about the game industry hurting anymore.
No, we're gonna do something a little bit more fun. Something.
We want to transition into something lighter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, some of the games
Definitely.
in the past, again, we're talking about older successes and stuff like that.
Yep.
Excuse me. Video games in the past.
Now they started the. This is about the Video Game Hall of Fame. Now this is recent. They only started this in 2015. They added 4 new games in this year. They had a finalist. I didn't see all the finalists, but these are the 4 that they chose. They have about, with these 4, I didn't count exactly how many. They probably have around 20 to 21 or 22 titles in there now. I'm going to kind of, I guess, give a rundown. It's not in the article. I wrote them down. They're the ones that are in there from past years. So 2015 was the first year they did it. They added in Doom, Pac-Man, Pong, Super Mario Brothers, Tetris, and World of Warcraft. We were kind of mentioning World of Warcraft. And if you look at all these games, they're kind of, I think they're games that kind of changed the landscape of gaming.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Super Mario Brothers is probably the most popular game ever. You had things like
Big platformer.
big platformer. You had things like Tetris and Pong, which are some of the very original
Yes.
games. World of Warcraft basically brought in the MMO genre. Doom, I think in terms of violence, that and Mortal Kombat would be right there with each other in terms of expanding violence in video games.
You know, to talk about the, I don't want to cut you off. Or you still?
I'll run through them real fast. 2016 GTA 3, Sonic, Space Invaders, Legend of Zelda, Oregon Trail. That one was funny that I saw
Which-
in there
which
because I never
Legend of
played that in
Zelda?
school. I think it was just the first one. Just the
Ocarina
first,
of Time?
Yeah, no, was that
Oh, the on the
very
NES?
original? Yeah,
Okay,
the very original
okay.
Legend of Zelda, and The Sims. 2017, you had Donkey Kong. So all the popular platforms
Yes,
are in there.
yes.
Halo, Pokemon Red and Green, which were big ones. Street Fighter 2, which I know was one of the more popular arcade games. And then finally, last year, 2018, Final Fantasy 7, John Madden Football, Space War, which I had never heard of,
No.
and Tomb Raider, which seemed kind of an odd one to me.
No, there's just 4 in here.
But there's
right?
just 4 in here that are getting added in this year.
I don't know why this Colossal Cave adventure seems like some innuendo. You were in a maze of twisted little passages.
I think it was kind of like what was the
Was
game
it like
called?
Spelunker?
I think it was like a text adventure.
Okay.
What was it?
That's cool.
Zorg? What was that game called?
Yeah, I know what you're talking
You know what I'm
about.
talking
Where
about.
you have to type
Yeah,
and
you
then
type
it brings
the
up new.
requests in. Yeah. Solitaire. Is it a video game? I don't know.
No, but it became so popular.
It did become
Yeah,
popular.
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal
you can't,
Kombat's a big one.
Yeah, you have to put that in there.
And of course, one of the funnest multiplayer games of all time, Mario Kart, Super Mario Kart.
Oh yeah, Mortal Kombat and Mario Kart I feel like are iconic.
Yes.
Mortal Kombat just changed, ESRB stuff like that just
It did.
changed
Yeah,
how
it
people
completely changed everything.
rated games.
And it was huge. And something else I noticed, which I respect that they tried to do, every year I feel like they tried to put a big arcade title in, which is important. Arcades were the original places where you played games. You know, not everybody had consoles back in the day, or PCs that played video games. I didn't have really a lot more to go into about it. Okay, so it says right here, the 2019 inductees were chosen based off their iconic stature and influence on popular culture, which kind of goes into the Mortal Kombat thing with the ESRB system and things like that. Let's see, what else was in there? Okay, here were the it said here was the finalists. Here's the finalists.
Where are you at? You have to tell me where you're at.
It's like the second paragraph down from the top.
The 4 inductees were chosen from the 12 finalists.
It says
Okay.
the world. Okay, you see it. Okay.
Candy Crush can't be in there. It's not
Candy
been in
Crush.
there that long.
No, Centipede. That one I could see. Dance Dance Revolution. Dance Dance Revolution, Half-Life, Myst, which was a big, walking type game. NBA 2K, Sid Meier's Civilization, Super Smash Bros. Melee.
Oh,
I think
man.
they picked the 4 right ones, though. I really do.
Smash Brothers went in there?
The only one I might have changed out was put Smash Brothers, just because I don't know anything.
Centipede I feel like will be in there eventually.
It'll get in there eventually. I just don't know much about the Colossal Cave Adventure.
Galaga will be in there sometime.
Galaga will be in there sometime. So, I mean, there's still a lot to add in.
The Toads, the Toad game,
Oh, yes, I loved it.
Space Toads,
Yeah.
that'll be in there.
That was fun. Yeah. Colossal Cave Adventure was a text-based game in '76.
Here's what you need to know about the 2019 World inductees. The violence of Mortal Kombat led to congressional hearings tonight, again leading to the ESRB. Super Mario Kart released in 1992, launched one of Nintendo's most successful franchises. Yes, it was huge for Nintendo. Colossal Cave, helped inspire an entire genre of text-based fantasy
So it
games.
was one of the original text-based
Yes.
games. Okay.
Released in 1976. And then Microsoft Solitaire has been included with Windows since 1990.
Yeah.
And is one of the most commonly played. Okay, so
It makes sense that it's in there.
when people get bored, like if they're at work or something like
They play
that.
Solitaire. That's funny. But that was pretty much it for that. I guess we're going to get into the last article. This is kind of a rundown of releases for May 2019. Now, there is something kind of mentioned in this article at the beginning, and it kind of goes into one of the things going to be released this month. Talking about the death of physical video game media.
Where's that on here?
It's at the very top. The death of physical.
Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, I'll see what you're.
Stores like GameStop are closing, which
Yes.
I remember there was a lot of them not that long ago that closed down.
That doesn't just have to do with digital sales, though.
No.
It all, we went into that yesterday where we talked about used copies and things like that.
Yeah.
Game companies no longer want to do that
They
anymore.
don't. And this person, I don't necessarily agree with it. We no longer buy video game discs and cartridges. Speak for yourself. I would much rather have the.
Who was that? Who was that quoted by?
It was the person writing the article said that. Who wrote it?
That's a lie, dude.
Kevin Wong. Okay, Kevin Wong. I don't know why I said that like his name meant something.
People are still buying large, like big video game physical.
People love
copies.
the special editions and stuff. They sell all the time.
Now, to his point, I do understand.
It is easier. He kind of gets into it. It is easier.
Fortnite is big.
Yes.
PUBG.
Yeah.
Now, actually, I think they sell a physical copy of PUBG. I'm not sure. H1Z1, if you're talking about that, if people still play that. So, you know, the huge big battle royale titles, yes, I understand what he's talking about.
And of course he goes into how we're streaming older games, like with Nintendo Switch Online and PlayStation Now, which they are doing.
You're gonna let me know where?
That's at the bottom of that paragraph. That first paragraph. We're already doing this with older games via services like Nintendo Switch Online.
Oh, when they talked about we'll subscribe to stream content.
Yeah.
And the Xbox Live free gold games. They download that digitally.
So everybody's going to have their own opinion on that. I like physical copies of games. I know you like physical copies of games.
Because it makes me feel like I own something.
Yeah, like you actually own it. Yeah.
Like books. I can't download books.
I can't read downloadable books.
You were talking about that.
Now I guess we're going to get into the Xbox Live Gold free games. We'll get into the PlayStation Plus free games.
Wait a minute, dude. The Golf Club of 2019 featuring PGA Tour. Who's downloading that? A golf simulation from 2EA that lets you drive and putt on world-famous courses and compete for the FedEx Cup.
I agree with you, and what surprised me about that is Xbox Live Gold always has really good free games. This is the worst thing I've ever seen.
Marooners, the multiplayer party game sends you and your friends a gauntlet of different mini-games to win treasure. It's a whimsical and purpose.
I trust me, I know. Now look at the 360 ones. And those are backwards, and these are backwards compatible with Xbox.
Earth Defense Force Insect Armageddon.
And then Comic Jumper. It's a beat-em-up game in the vein of Comics Zone. You play as a failed comic book superhero who jumps into an
that game is fun.
comic books world. Now that sounds like it could be kind of fun and interesting. Now we'll get into the PlayStation Plus.
Did you never play that? It was on Sega.
No, I never played it. Was there one? Oh, the Comic Zone?
Oh, in the vein of Comic Zone.
In the vein of Comic Zone, similar to it. The PlayStation Plus games, and these kind of, I have a PlayStation 4, that's what I play, so. Overcooked. A party game requires you to run a kitchen brigade. I mean,
What Remains of Edith Finch.
Now, I did hear that was a really good story game. But
so the one I get upset at is...
I never played it, so I can't
I've never even heard of it.
There's not any action. It's kind of like one of those walk simulator type games where you just go do things and it's exploring.
Of course, I shouldn't talk bad about it. I mean,
they're
it doesn't make it bad if you've never heard of it.
No.
It has to get
popular first. This next thing right below that is something I was wanting to kind of talk about for a minute.
They just came out today.
The Xbox. What did you say, the 7th?
Mm-hmm.
My dates are all mixed up. Xbox One S, all digital edition console. So no
What does it do besides digital?
That's it.
Anything?
No. You stream. You stream and download games from the Xbox Live.
Does it have a higher memory capacity?
It doesn't specify that. It doesn't say it on here. Now, what's kind of making me mad about this is they're almost forcing this on you. The original you said was how much when it first came out?
$400.
$250 for this. So they're almost forcing it on you.
Well, I can tell you why that is. It's because the Xbox has already been out a while. This doesn't do anything new. All it does is just allow you to download digital games.
It's true. That's true. But I mean, I don't know.
I just don't understand why they're releasing this now, when the PS5 was announced not too long ago.
And the new Xbox, they've been talking about it recently.
So why are you releasing this now?
I don't know.
Basically, all they did was take away the disc tray.
I'll just kind of run down through some of the others, I guess. A new Forza game. I don't know why I sounded so depressed. Fortnite. We don't play Fortnite anymore.
Season 9 begins.
But Season 9 is going to begin, so all the Fortnite players out there, May the 9th with a question mark, so I guess it's going to be right around.
Avengers Endgame tie-in. You know what? Yeah, could you imagine how big crunch time would be now with the Avengers coming out?
I know.
James, I feel bad for these people.
Plague Tale Innocence May the 14th, Rage 2. I'm not sure how big. Team Sonic Racing.
We don't need to...
Wait. Resident Evil Remaster X.
Receive ports of classic games.
Okay. Anyway.
There's not much else to go into. I mean, we kind of wanted to give a rundown. We talked about, just to give you a little bit of a recap, we talked about the video game industry and Activision, game companies like that, seeming to go by the way, some of the big title companies seeming to go by the wayside a little bit, which is kind of sad.
So they're either not making games anymore, or they're treating their employees like trash. So, whatever.
And then, on a more positive note, we got to the Hall of Fame. some big iconic titles like
Oh, yeah.
Mortal Kombat.
And it's cool that they started this because video games have become ingrained in popular culture
Yes.
now. They're ingrained in popular culture now.
And then how we're moving to a digital era, which I don't know how much that's going to help the video game industry.
I don't know.
I mean, is gaming just going to become mobile games now? It can't because of Fortnite. As much as we dislike some of the things with Fortnite, it's keeping the game industry afloat a little bit with stuff like that
Maybe.
because it's so popular. Okay, so we have to do this outro fast because the camera's getting ready to die.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you like our content, leave us a like, please. Subscribe.
Yeah, definitely
Of
subscribe
course.
and hit the notification bell.
Helps the channel out, and
It
let
does.
us know what you think down in the comment section down below. You know, is the game industry hurting? The Hall of Fame things. Let us know what you think about that. What games should be in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, tell us what games you want added in. That'd be a fun discussion to have.
And what do you think about the digital era
Yep.
coming up? Actually, it's already here. So anyway, guys, I guess that's it for us, and see you next video. You
Yeah,
have a good day.
Have a good day.